channel. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. But today is another one of these days where this is pulled in the shop, and I wish it wasn't. Because I heard some clinking and some rattling, and it continued to get worse even when you were not using the four-wheel drive. I looked, I kind of inspected everything, it all checked out. Well, finally, yesterday, I was able to climb under there again, and it finally showed itself. We blew a U-joint in the back half, or the back part of the front drive shaft between the front axle and the transfer case. So what that means is that if a U-joint's like this in here, and it's blown, then it starts wiggling. And it all wiggles and just busts, and then it can actually ruin what is called as your yoke, and then you have to replace the whole drive shaft. So we're gonna get new U-joints, we're gonna finish tearing this thing all out, and then we're gonna show you the progress. Alright, so we're underneath the truck. If y'all can see that, this is the front axle here, and this is the part on the front axle. They're star-headed bolts, and they take, actually this tool, you all can see that. Anyway, I'll get it out better in the light, but I just thought I'd show y'all there's 4 bolts for that. They were a trick to get out. I'm actually probably gonna have to get new bolts because unfortunately, because they are star head and they were rusted in there from 05, that's the reason that they were just such a trick, and I think I ended up rounding one of them off actually. Nevertheless, we'll come back here and I'll get my light, but you can see in there, you can see there's 4 bolt holes there as well, and that's the transfer case in. So with that said, I'm going to slide out a little ways and let's see if we can't get this thing off. And I apologize for the shaky camera and the hand in the camera right now, but that's just kind of what it is underneath the truck. So we're going to see if we can't get that pulled off. And then we're not quite sure. I've never been into the 05s. We've got a drive shaft, had drive shafts off of the older pickups, but never off of an 05, so. And there we go. If y'all can see that, it was just stuck. And so there's the end on the transfer case end, 4 bolts. And then there's the end on the front end. So I'm going to slide out of this uncomfortable position, and we're going to pause the video, and then we're going to get back to y'all. So if y'all can see that, this is the front end, or front axle end with them gear notches to just hold into place. These are the bolts that held it in, if y'all can see that. There's like a star pattern. And then this is the whole reason we're taking this baby out. We're going to replace both of them while we're in here. But if y'all can see that, it is just completely shot. The U-joint's completely out of it. You can see that much wiggle room. We're not supposed to be having near that much wiggle room. So that would be the cause of the U-joint being out. We're gonna just pop the caps off and see what we can do there, so stay tuned. So y'all, what we're doing right now, if you can see that, is we're punching a hole, or punching the end cap out of one end to get it all the way out, and hit her justice. Let's see what we get. We're just using a socket the perfect size for it. And it went. Y'all can see that. Now we're just gonna flip it over. Almost. Okay. And it's almost there. I'm cutting bits and clips because it's taking quite a bit of hammering, and if I didn't figure y'all would want to watch hammering for 5 minutes, but so I guess we're almost out, Justice says. Dang, we're darn close. How can you be so close, but yet so far away? So if y'all can see that, we end up getting a cap off, and Justice has almost got that here. The reason I'm videoing is because I'm actually holding the other end of this, because we're on the anvil, and unfortunately the anvil's not big enough. And there we go. So, as we can see, the yoke here, so it looks still good to be good. We'll see once we get the new U-joint closer to it to make sure it's not wallowed out. And there's the old piece, if you can see that. So we just got to tap the other two ends out of that, and then we'll put the new U-joint in. Alright, so Justice is working on that last one. Took that cap off. We're going to see if we can't get this out. So you guys kind of see how we are able to take them out. Just take the caps off. And y'all can see that's pretty round still. So I'm hoping that it's not wallowed out enough to hurt the new U-joint any. Then I don't have to replace any of this, because once we get into the drive shafts and these yoke pieces, they get pretty darn expensive. So there's the new the old U-joint. And here are the new U-joints. There are two different sizes of U-joints, and if you can see that one of them's got the black rubber and one doesn't. They're actually, this one's quite a bit bigger than this one. They're for the different ends, actually. I'm not sure, but this end is actually the smaller one.
Alright guys, so to do this process, you need grease, lots and lots of grease. So you fill the caps with grease, so then your needles do not fall out or get ill-adjusted, and when he pulls it off, you guys can see there's the needles in there. So you fill it with grease nice and easy, not to push the deal out too much. Then there you can see is the caps and the new U-joint. So then he's going to fill them with grease, and then we'll pinch it in the vise so we can put it on. Alright guys, so this is how the pinching process works. We use the vise because that gets square and even and true. Or you can do it with a hammer, but then you might hit sideways a little bit. So they'll go tough, and then they should kind of just pop in there. There it went.
The other one hasn't popped yet. There we go.
And as you guys can see, the grease is squirting out there because we filled the caps with grease so the needles wouldn't roll around and fall out of their rightful position.
I'm getting in the way of the camera, folks. There we go.
Got a double pop on that one.
Well, it's tough.
Not out of breath, are you, Winston?
Getting there. Dang.
It's harder than it looks, folks. But the concept's pretty easy. And
you can see that one's in.
Flush is the goal, or just a tick.
That might be a tick, because actually one of these on this one was a tick. Could be that actually the owner before us, somehow one of these ears got bent in a little bit. I'm not sure.
And as long as you can get your clips in.
Yes. It's the main thing. So now I'll put at least the clips in on the ones that I'm pretty sure, or I'm sure that are in all the way. Greasy fingers in a plastic bag. Now there's a game for Christmas Day.
There's the clips.
There's one in.
There's one. You can kind of hear it snap. Like I said, the concept's pretty easy. So you guys pretty much have the idea. So there's just 4 clips, one every spot in there. You can't really see it because there's grease in the way, but it just goes in there to keep the end caps from working out. So there you go. Alright, so we got the drive shaft under here. So now Winston's going to get the right ends on the socket to put it up under there.
Alright, so if y'all can see that, we put our new screws in there. Got our U-joints in there. And then down here, we did the same thing. Put our bolts, 4 bolts in and our U-joint. That is how you replace U-joints and a front drive shaft. Alright, y'all, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, comment if you have any questions. I thought I would show y'all. This is actually the bag with the part number of the screws we used to replace on the front drive shaft. Also, this is the screw. That's what it looks like. If you can see that, it's got a hex head on it. Pretty sure that's what it's called. And there's the end for it. So it takes a special piece to do that. It's kind of tricky to get out of there. We accidentally ruined the 3 that were in there, or 4 that were in there, and so we had to get new ones. So that is the reasoning for that. Nevertheless, also I wanted to mention, I try to put what we use for tools out if I can. For the bolts on the back side on the transfer case, it takes a 5/8 socket. So I thought I also would put that in there. So maybe if y'all are working on it, might save you from having to get back out from underneath the truck to get a part or a tool. Anyway, nevertheless, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that subscription button. Follow us on Cowboy Ranch Life on Instagram. And with no more to say, I guess, hope you have an awesome rest of your week.